Alrighty, we are continuing the Endwalker series of the Manderville quests. Next quest is By Agents Unknown, given to us by Delian. We are in Rodzit Han to the southwest of the Aetheryte. Here we go. Mercy, eager to resume our investigations? I know I am. Do you recall that scrap of alien starship we recovered? Well, Inspector Brandehild has employed his unsettling calculative capacity to extrapolate the damage to the greater whole, and he has concluded that the vessel would be incapable of flight without extensive repairs. Our most likely scenario, then, is that some unknown agent made off with the starship wreckage, along with PuPu's acquaintance. Fortunately, I have a fair idea who that unknown agent might be. After all, there is a singularly shadowy cabal with a history of concealing extraterrestrial activity. Actually, let's head over to Kama first. The inspector and the others are staying in a dwelling there, and I'd rather not explain myself twice. Believe it or not, well, generally teleporting is the fastest way to travel within cities, so. But to get here, you're actually going over a bridge. So like you would have to go around up the stairs here and around, and if you had to run, that's how you'd get here. And we have PuPu laying on the bed where Hildebrand's body used to be. Delian, Hildebrand, Nashu, and Brandehild. We talk to Hildy to continue. "'Tis horrible misfortune, Mercy, calamitous even. Poor Master PuPu has fallen gravely ill." I have shocked face. PuPu's just lying on the bed, breathing, or whatever the alien does, eyes closed. "He's so bluish green. More so, I mean." He looks the same.
"Could he have caught a cold? I suppose it was quite chill."
Oh wait, that's Hildebrand, sorry. "Could he have caught a cold? I suppose it was quite chilly up there in Garlemald." PuPu is an alien. Who knows what extraterrestrial diseases might be ravaging his body, says Delian. Nashu holds out 2 bombs. "Nashu's delights are the best medicine for whatever ails you, as the inspector himself can attest." "Good gods, Nashu, you'll blow our host's domicile to pieces. Put them away." She was posing for the camera. She gets a little bit sad, puts them away.
"If I may, when I was cloned from the Inspector, certain gaps in my knowledge were patched with supplementary data from the Starship's archives. This information included an encyclopedic understanding of Master PuPu's physiology, which should be sufficient for me to diagnose his condition."
"A Xenoman hybrid mind. That explains the impossible calculations," says Delian. Brandehild, once again the camera zooms in on him, black screen, sits in the imaginary chair, calculations circling around him in a black cylinder, drinking his tea, thinking. Gets the exclamation point above his head. Again, the chair doesn't exist, but he's able to do the sitting position anyway. Massive muscular control.
"I have it. Master PuPu is afflicted by a terrible case of the common cold."
Shock from "Gods grant me strength," says Delian. But shock from Hildy and Nashu.
"As a visitor to Aetheris, Master PuPu has no prior experience to our maladies. He is thus particularly susceptible to infection and more likely to experience severe symptoms."
"Aha! 'Tis just as I surmised. We must put aside the case until we have nursed our stricken companion back to health," says Hildy. "But even if it is a common cold, isn't there a risk that our medicines do him more harm than good?"
"They almost certainly would. Based on the results of my analysis, however, I believe I can synthesize an effective remedy. We need but gather the ingredients."
Then ingredients you shall have. So, what are we gathering exactly?" says Hildy.
"Most of what we require can be drawn from Master PuPu's collected samples. Otherwise, there are only two which we lack. The first of these is the liver of a giant tortoise. A suitable organ can be extracted from one of the cachapa, K-A Charlie Charlie H-A Paul A, cachapa, which wander the salt wind's welcome." "Oh, the slaughtering of a monstrous opponent. That sounds like a job for Mercy." I get determined face, fist in palm. The other material in question is a rare fungus known as damp shroom, which I am hoping can be found among the Great Work's extensive stock of alchemical reagents. Very well, Nashu, Delian, and I will scour the alchemist's shelves. Meanwhile, I would ask that you remain here and keep an eye on our ailing patient.
Inspector Brandahill, you're such an expert on all things Thavner.
Oh, I wouldn't say... He gets, like, shy and timid. I wouldn't say expert. Simply conclusions from simple observations, nothing more. As I said, I'm hoping the alchemists have the damp shroom we need, but it really is quite rare. Once you have the tortoise liver, would you be so kind as to assist the others in procuring the fungus? He says to me. I nod. Then let us not prolong Master PuPu's suffering a moment longer. Now, Hildy does a couple poses, ends with the hug pose. Nashu gives her, like, kick foot up, hands clasped in front of her face. Delian looks a little bit exasperated, but it seems we have a job to do. Further discussion of the abduction will have to wait. I'm going to teleport to Yedlamald for 2:15. And fly west. Here is something you can't understand. How I could just kill a tortoise. Oh, big boys. What's up, Cachapa? I'm so sorry for what I must do. What I must do. Oh. Oh. Did one of them say we were gonna meet him at the Great Work after all that? Wait, is that the sound? Okay, so I have not played even a moment of Black Mage with this, with Xenoglossy, with these charges. Is that the sound it makes when I get a charge? Sorry, but I mean like with the sound on. Like the quests end at level 70, so I have no real reason. It is what, huh? Interesting. I wonder if you can like really. I mean, I have no problem using them in a battle anyway, but makes them that much more noticeable. Interesting. Here's Hildy, Delian, and Nashu. We are at the Great Work in Thavner still. Could have teleported for 100, but it's fine. Cutscene. We have our little creepy Lalafell friend hiding behind some crates. Ah, mercy. I had every confidence you would bring us a suitable liver. Alas, the dank shroom yet eludes us. The alchemist said the fungus has few applications, so they don't bother to stock it most of the time. Then I must put my keen inspector sense to work. Stand back whilst I attune myself with the essence of the dank. Does his pose that ends in him pointing at his brain with one finger on each hand. Damp. The word is damp shroom, and you'll forgive me if I have no faith in your abilities. He gets a eureka face and hands, Jet. 'Tis close, my friends, and getting closer and closer even as we speak. There's a man who has approached us. A trustworthy trader is his name. I hear you folk are in the market for damp shrooms. I might have some to sell if you're interested. But how? Says Delian. Hildy gives a couple of poses, ending in the hug pose. We certainly are, my fine fellow. Right then, if you'll give me a moment to retrieve the goods, we can finalize our transaction up on the perfumed rise. And he walks back out of the scene. Was it genuine clairvoyance or sheer coincidence? I'm not sure anymore, says Delian. Though in all fairness, when it comes to Inspector Hildebrand, preternatural perception is one of his least baffling talents. In any case, we should hurry to the rise and take this man up on his timely offer. It's a tarp.
The Lalafell goes running after Nashu, like not hiding at all. That was hilarious. Just right past me, out in the open. Doom, doom, doom. So we head north, flying, because it's easy. We have a destination marker with the 3 of them already here, looking out for the merchant to come. Waiting, and done. Cutscene. The merchant comes up to us. Oh, you're here. Good. And here's the damp shroom as promised. He has a satchel. Oh, glad we offer your assistance. Hildy reaches out to take it, but the merchant pulls it back. Ta, not so fast. Ta. Is that what it means? Ta, not so fast. There is still the matter of payment. Oh, of course. And how much do we owe you, my good man? Considering the extreme rarity of the fungus in question, I couldn't let it go for less than 1 million gil. Shock from everybody except for Hildy. 1 million gil for 1 measly mushroom? That's outright robbery, says Delian, pointing at him. A bargain, I counter. You would probably pay tenfold my price in the markets. I thought to do you a kindness in light of your urgent need, but I am more than willing to find another buyer if you wish to spit upon my generosity. Nashu, how fare we for coin? We're plumb out, Inspector. Then this is a prickly pickle. Where are we to obtain sufficient funds at such short notice? His eyes kind of glance over at me. I take a half step back, like, what? My options are 1 million gil, was it? Or I have an orchestration roll collecting problem. Gotta buy 'em all. Spent the last of my savings on Return to Oblivion. Or I'm gonna try sleeping this time. Last time I made the excuse that I have an addiction to collecting something. And my character looks like she's asleep. Little bubbles. Nashu's shocked. Hildy's shocked. Delian's shocked. If that's the way of it, then I shall beg father for the necessary amount. Saving Master PuPu's life is worth every gil. Somebody says, give that man nothing. Off screen. I wake up. This dude's come running. Looks like he's one of the guard. Purple hair. Dark skin. The merchant goes running. The dude goes running after him. There's another dude blocking the merchant's path. And the merchant falls to his knees and hands. We have you now, deceitful scum. Your swindling days are over, says one of the soldiers. The Radiant, they are called. And cutscene transitions to the purple-haired guard. Not as dark skin as I thought. Just tan. Giving a bow to us, and the merchant is in handcuffs, but standing. Radzaton City Guard, at your service. We'd received reports of this man's questionable activities and have been keeping a close eye on him ever since. Damshroom is a rare find in the bazaar, to be sure, but only because there's no real demand for it. The price this charlatan quoted you was, quite frankly, ludicrous. But thanks to your ignorance and poor judge of character, we were able to catch him in the act. As a token of our gratitude, you are welcome to keep the fungus, assuming you still want it. Nashu gives a little cheer. Yes, very much so. That is very magnanimous of you, says Hildy. The pouch is handed over, satchel, whatever, bag. The merchant looks away. Bah, you'd think I enjoy tricking fools out of their coin? You think I enjoy tricking fools out of their coin? If that bastard hadn't declared my job redundant, I wouldn't have needed to stoop so low. Hildy looks over to the merchant, kind of like, what? What's up? What's going on? Kind of sad for him. He blames a rising star among the merchant's prices for his woes. A rising star among the merchants, okay. He blames a rising star among the merchant princes for his woes. There we go. Vanudi, I believe his name was, purchased the trading consortium where the man was working, which led to a restructuring of the hierarchy. Put a lot of people out of work.
Hildy crosses his arms. Vanudi, I know that name. Something about an acquisitions deal gone sour. Father was willing to sell him a slice of his Harnish enterprise, I think, but balked when the man offered to buy our family business in its entirety. Truly, there is no telling how deep the coffers of this Vanudi are, nor do any know the secret of how he amassed such kingly wealth so damnably fast. There are whispers, though, that he's solved alchemy's oldest and most legendary of problems, the transmutation of base metal into gold. Unlikely to say the least, but whatever the source of Anudi's riches, he shows no reluctance in spending them. He's bought a historic temple to serve as his home, and commissioned a private airship, among other extravagant expenditures. Nice for some, eh? He gives a bow, with a smile. Nashu and Hildy bow. The guard walks away. Core, that swindling case had barely started before you solved it, Inspector. Ah, all in a day's work, my dear Nashu. Turns to me. I believe our business upon this scented hill is concluded. Perfume. Let us hurry the ingredients back to Inspector Brandahill, shall we? I give a nod. There seems to be a figure, but that is not the Lalafell. It is the Aura dude holding the robot head, watching us. I may have mollified his lordship with the secrets of divine manifestation, but the stench of failure yet clings to me, says Lugay Head. I must redeem myself in his eyes by crushing my most hated foe. Wee. Is that a Mandragora or the Lalafell dude? Yeah, who knows. Raining, but I can't get all wet. 2:15 to teleport back to Rodzeton. And over at the comma. Every once in a while when I say that I want to burst into the comma chameleon, but here's our little Lalafell dude checking up on everything. I can't even jump on this crate. I can go right through it. That's weird, man. That's weird, dude, man. We talked to Brandahild inside near the bed to complete the quest. Inspector Hildebrand tells me you have the liver to go along with his damp shroom. And over the giant tortoise liver. A fine specimen, thank you. I will be mixing the ingredients in the starship, so let us convey Master PuPu outside that we may administer his medicine as soon as it is ready. Cutscene. Brandahill is cradling PuPu in his arms. It's a fun sentence. We're walking in Thavner again. Close to like the painted rock temple in the north. This should be sufficiently remote. I'll have the craft come to us and we can commence the treatment. Brandahill looks to the sky. We see a little twinkle. The starship kind of comes in a boomerang kind of shape of transport toward us. Beams up Brandahill and PuPu, hovering above us, 40 yards, whatever, 30 to 40 yards maybe. And we're waiting, talking. Now she's falling asleep, standing up. Hildebrand is having a cup of tea. The tractor beam sends PuPu and Brandahill back down. PuPu standing on his own now, awake, alert, good to go. Oh, I feel so much better. I cannot thank you all enough. Now she gives her a little cheer. Hildy spreads his arms with joy. We have the Lalafell hiding behind. He's just holding two little two branches with some leaves on it, next to some bushes, in clear view of everybody. Master PuPu recovered his strength in mere moments. 'Twould seem his powers of recuperation are just as advanced as his technology. I came here from another world, a stranger you've no cause to trust, and yet you've treated me so kindly. The people of this star are so very welcoming. Ah, you are a dear friend now, Master PuPu. 'Tis our pleasure to help. PuPu runs in a circle, delighted. Nashu jumps for joy. Hildy claps above his hands with joy. The Ara and the Lugay Head are watching us from behind another bush. And it will be my pleasure to harm, says Luge. And he goes flying over all of us with a like jet propulsion where the neck should be. Starts hovering a distance away and above us. A beam starts generating at his nose. It shoots down. While it's doing that, Brandahild once again sits in his imaginary chair, drinking his imaginary tea, doing the calculations in his brain. Gets an exclamation point. Still has time somehow to dash. He's fast as heck. Dash over, finds a crystal just laying on the ground, a big crystal. Gets in front of me where the beam is directed. The crystal. I'll not fall for the same trick twice. Uh-oh. Oh. Okay. Hopefully I have time. We'll see. Okay. So the beam was directed at me. He blocks it with the crystal. Crystal absorbs the beam. Crystal shoots the beam back at the head. The head has a shield around it. Oh gosh, it's going too fast. The beam is charging again. Hildy's looking around, panicked, like, what do we do? What do we do? Hildy gets the black screen, sits in the imaginary chair. Just a bunch of doodles, like stars and Kirby's and stuff, with his tea. Gets a question mark above his head. Sits, like, falls backwards because there is no chair. Sees a goblin. Jumps in front of me with the goblin. The goblin is besmitten with Hildy. Hildy's is panicking, like, starts to sweat on his forehead. Tosses the goblin into the air. Crosses his arms in front of his face to block the beam. It instead hits him. Oh, it hits him in the chest after a moment, and he gets contorted into several different positions over and over and over again. The goblin lands in Nashu's hands, and she bounces like a basketball. Fuck. Hildy is smoking, stumbling, falls to his knees, goofy smile on his face. Lands, or like, impudent worms, taste my full power. The mouth opens, the beam charges, pointing up. It's like it's created a hoop in his mouth. Nashu looks down at the goblin basketball, gets an idea, gets in a basketball stance, gets a flashback to one of those basketball games she used to play at the fair. Flashback to the bombs she would throw in the basketball shooting fashion at or to Hildy. Camera zooms in on her eyes. We get a black screen where she has tossed the goblin into the basketball hoop, quote unquote. Now we're on the regular screen. The goblin is flying through the air toward the robot head's open mouth that is pointing, like, creating a cup, basically, that the goblin could land in. It hits off of the chin or the bottom lip of Luge's head, comes back. The camera zooms in on Brandy's face, Hildy's face. I jump up, grab the goblin, dunk it into the Luge mouth. We get this little flash of me with, like, a determined, awesome look on my face doing the slam dunk. One-handed, mind you. The goblin is stuck in the robot Luge's mouth. The energy grows and expands to explode. Not again! Not again! Sorry, that's probably better. Delian is, like, cheering. Nashu's jumping for joy. PuPu's running around in circles. The Lalfel's just watching. I give a fist and palm. Everybody comes to me, cheering. Both of the Hildy and Brandy are up now. The Ara has been watching this, gets a scowl, walks away. Nashu's still jumping for joy. Hildy poses, ending in a hug pose. Delian, you took the full force of that destructive beam, yet there you stand, somewhat singed but apparently unharmed. Okay, so Brandy blocks it with the crystal. Crystal absorbs, shoots it back at the head, the robot head. Robot head shields, directing the beam back at Brandy. Brandy blocks with crystal again. Crystal can't take it.
explodes, knocking Brandy back, where he is in a weird position on the ground, knocked out for a moment. And then I think I did a good enough job explaining everything else that happened. But yeah. Okay. Dang. I've pondered and puzzled over this inexplicable fortitude of yours and feel compelled to ask. Are you an alien? A fine jest, but I assure you, I am without a doubt an Uldan-born Mandeville of terrestrial, higher-in stock. He's Hildebrand, agent of inquiry and inspector extraordinaire. What more do you need to know? Where to even begin, but never mind. We have more pressing matters. Such as locating Master PuPu's missing comrade. 'Tis time we reopened the case of the silent correspondent. Yes, exactly. The Lalafell still obviously hiding plain sight. And I have a firm theory as to who it was that took the wreckage and its erstwhile pilot. The Charlians. I'm all but certain they've allied with insidious extraterrestrials, which means they'll be under orders to remove any evidence of alien activity. I wager we will find what we're looking for in Old Charlian. We need only infiltrate their operations and expose this nefarious conspiracy. Oh yeah, also, the Luge head was not destroyed, just went blasting off. It's like, not again! Like, kind of an homage to the Team Rocket, probably. Maybe, I don't know. My options are, the Charlians can't be bothered to formally ally with foreign nations, much less aliens, and the Loprids don't count. Or, trust me, they'd sooner flee the star than attempt to subjugate it. The Charlians can't be bothered to formally ally with foreign nations, much less aliens, and the Loprids don't count. While Master Delian's theory does lack supporting facts, we have no other promising leads to pursue at present. Moreover, I understand that Charlian sets the standard for monitoring astronomical and astrological phenomena. Mayhap their experts have been tracking extraterrestrial movements. He gets a little shy. I've spoken out of turn. Please forgive my presumptuousness. Nay, my friend, I too sense our path points to the Isle of Archons. He does the pose where he points at his head with one finger on each hand. Pack your bags, everyone. We leave for Charlian immediately, he says, taking a knee with his arms spread wide. Nashu jumps for joy. Delian gives like a little fist in the air and then fist at his side kind of thing. Which reminds me of something. What is that from? Could it be Pokemon? Yeah. I don't know. 1704 for completing this quest. Gil, that is. And the next quest will start right here. Until then, I'm going to take a seat right here. Ooh, can we get Gigi? Hold on. I can do this. Yeah. Good enough. Myself, Brandahild, PuPu, Gigi, Delian, Nashu, and Hildebrand. Thank you for watching. We do hope you have enjoyed. We will see you soon for the next one, right after I post this. Bye-bye for now.